Good afternoon, good evening, good day, wherever you are in the world. ET Restorations, Aids Workshop. Nice one. Right, doing Suzuki Burgman again. Last video, about 2 seconds ago, I installed a switch to turn the headlights off whilst I'm cranking. And then back on again for road use, obviously. Just that little bit of testing has just drained that old battery. I say old, I was right, 17th of June last year. So I don't know what's happened to that battery, but it's been absolutely frazzled. I've put some stuff back in it, but it just hasn't got the oomph. So as you can see, I already had this in my shed because I knew the battery was I didn't know it was dry at the time, but I bought that along with all the bearings for the bike. So yeah, let's pop this in. I've got to fit all those other bits there as well. I've removed the battery cover lid completely, so it makes it a little bit easier to get things in and out. There we go. That wasn't painful, was it? Groovy. That's right back in there. Now for a moment I'm just gonna pop these cables in, connect them up, and then I'll start introducing cables from there to the battery via my relay. Okay, right, let's get straight into it. Okay, I've literally wanged those terminals on there. This is the live and neutral for the Oxford hand grips, which will be going into this via the relay, like I said. Now to fire the relay you need the ignition signal, which luckily is right here. This is the starter relay, and there are the signal cables, so that is going to be super duper easy. Right, let's fire this up and see what happens. Oh, Christ, that was my key. There it is. Oh, we have lots of lightage. Do we have headlights? No, we don't. That's good. Okay, let's pull that in. Oh, that's a lot better, isn't it? A lot better. Spot on. That's not going to get on my tits at all, is it? Stop the fucking thing. So much better. So much better. Yes, it is revving a little bit high. Someone pointed that out before, but when it's warmed up, it's stone cold. It drops right down, so that's good. What are you after, quality? Come say hello to everybody. Yes. Hello. That's how he says hello. No, no, no. We don't bark at people, do we? Unless they're trying to steal things, and then we kill them. Right. Technically, not technically, I mean. Right, okay, let me just lift this boot back up again. We push the key in and we turn it. Nice resounding click. And the boot opens. Right, I'm going to crack on installing this. It is just going to sit on top of the battery there. It doesn't foul the seat when the seat closes. So it should be pretty straightforward, shouldn't it? Right, let's see how we get on. Good morning, next day. Right, bear with, it gets a little bit haywire, but then that's me all round, isn't it? Let's lift, no, let's not lift up the thing. We are doing that fuse box in a bit, not right now. This is the next day. I had a bit of a fright yesterday. I put the dash back together and turned the key on, like so. Look at the dash. Look for an F1 light here, which is a fault light. There's the fault light. It stayed on and it started flashing at me. So now we can undo the boot. Push that and click that. Let's lift us up out of the way. This is just in case anyone else ever has the F1 light come on after you've been tinkering, which you probably shouldn't be doing. But there we are. Yeah, right, now what am I looking for? Ah, yes, the diagnostic port. Every bike has one of these, pretty much. It's got a rubber cap on it. It's all skanky. It was hidden right in there. I managed to find it. Anyway, I took that lid off of there and I found myself an old paper clip. And I bent it thus. Why did you bend it like that easy? Well, quite simply because you have to put it in those two holes on the ends. There's a red and white cable and a black and white cable. See that? Red and white and black and white. Those two, put your kill switch in the off position. Ignition off. Loop that there. Actually, I'll show you it. In actual fact, let's do it. The kill switch is off, isn't it? Let's put that in there. Oops. Let's put that in there. And push it in. And make sure it doesn't touch. That is actually part of the frame. Make sure nothing touches anywhere. Okay, right, we got that. So now let's turn the key on. Like so. All the lights are off. And the check has come up. Okay, so with the ignition on, we then turn the engine kill switch back off, and it should throw up a code. Code 00. Now code 00, let me just kill that again. Code 00 means there isn't a fault. Okay, I have a list of all the engine fault codes on this Suzuki Burgman. If you want to know what that is, I'll drop the picture in just after this little clip. Right, let's put that cover back on there very quickly so I don't forget, because that's what happened yesterday. I forgot something. Yes, I forgot something. How unusual. Don't find me doing that, do you really? Anyway, whilst all this gubbins was out, this whole fascia part, whilst this was out, exposing all the wiring in there, I was trying to look at the back of the headlights, the two plugs that go on the back of the lamps, effectively. And I tried to undo some of the black insulation tape to see how far down. This is before I found out that I could just do that switch via the fuse board there. Okay, so that's that's bringing you up to speed with why I was in here. I didn't want to cut anything and get into all sorts of nastiness because the cables were different colours for the side light, for the dip beam on both lamps. That's when I sort of thought, hang on a minute, look in there. Anyway, long story short, to get to those cables, there was the big ignition plug with the big 4 reds on it, and the red and blacks. I had unplugged that to move it out of the way so I could get in there to those light cables, which I didn't even need to go near, but I learnt something. Yeah, of course, when I went to start the bike, started fine, but the F1 light stayed on. Now, if you got a CVT problem, or there are so many sensors on this bike, you got speed sensors. No speedo cable, it's a speedo sensor, and it's on the engine at the back there. Let's show you, just in case you are a Burgie owner. It's this little thing in here. It's just under here. There's a little sensor. That's your speed sensor. You've got a throttle sensor on the carburetor. You've got a CVT sensor, and that's the 3 I can think of. And they're codes like 052, 051, 050, that kind of thing. So it would be C0514, the CVT, if that's at fault. Anyway, I digress. So the F1 light stayed on. Now I went online very quickly, went onto YouBoob. It was pretty much don't run your engine, don't run your bike. You'll be in limp mode, which is pretty apt considering I'm having a procedure tomorrow. Anyway, we won't go talking about that. So yeah, do not ride your bike. You can ride it, but you won't be able to get anywhere near 30 miles an hour or go up any gradient. So yeah, I didn't find that fault until this morning. I went to bed last night with the F1 light staying on, not really in a good mood with it. I thought I'd fuck something up by splicing them cables. All these things rattle around in your head and put you on the back foot. And I'm amazed I got to sleep, to be fair. I think I just went to sleep through complete exhaustion. But I came down this morning, went to start the engine, and it just spun over. So I thought, the kill switch is off. No, the kill switch isn't off. It was on. So there was no reason why that shouldn't start. So I spent, you know, about a minute on and off with the starter, trying different things. I tried putting the gunshots again. Tried putting the, you know, the paperclip back in the diagnostic. It was still coming up with a code 00, which is no fault. All the lights were working, everything was working, and it's one of those things that suddenly dawns on you. Have I plugged everything in? No, I haven't. As soon as I plugged it in, then F1 light goes out. Everybody's happy. So that's just a quickie. Alright, I'm going to head this as F1 fault code on Suzuki Burgman this episode. This little clip bit, so it will be a one-off. No, it won't. Do I knit it in with the start of this next episode? I don't know. Yes, I will. Bollocks. Okay, so what am I doing now? I am literally looking at ways. Yes, there's the thing to go in under the seat. I'm literally thinking of ways to mount my new whizzy dizzy all fandangoed super duper spotlights. That's off. Let's put that back on there. There they are, little beauties. And somehow they need to go here. Now the only real points of interest are here on this bolt, or here on this screw. It's a little M6 and it has a collar on it to space out man, that gap there. Otherwise you'll just crush like someone's done in the past, and split all around the plastic there. Now putting it there has its limitations. If you look closely, we don't even need to look closely, look at the shite that's there. It's constantly in rain, it's constantly being flooded and soaked and grit and grime and dirt. So bringing it forward to here is, in my eyes, the better option. Okay, so what I had to do is that's the mounting thing, which would normally go on your on your crash bars, or you know, on your BMW frames and all that nonsense. I don't have that luxury. Okay, this is just what I've got. And as these are fairly chunkified, that is a fair bit of weight, I have gone for this area here. Now they have to be mounted upside down, which is actually the right way up if you look at the writing on the front of the lens there, because the angled lens is angling down towards the road, so you get the brightness but you don't get the direct glare. Okay, you can adjust it like that if you put it up the other way, which looks aesthetically more pleasing, but then again you have all that gubbins in there, which is, I think it adjusts the lens up and down. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I think it's there for. So if that was up that way, which looks better, it's actually not, because all the water will just sit in that hole there. So they do go literally underslung like so. So there is nowhere for the water to congregate, sort of thing. So bear with, that bolts onto there. Okay, so imagine that's bolted onto there. I've got to somehow get that onto there, but it can't go close up to it because the light fouls the fender there, the front mudguard. So I need to spacer it off somehow, and like that. And I can't just wang a bolt through and bolt it up, because this is plastic and it will go like that and it will fracture over time, over all the bumps. That will fracture there. So I need a spacer in here too. So it needs to be bolt head, spacer, spacer, fix. I have managed to find these bolts. No, they're not off the NH80, although I've just found a couple that are identical. I went rummaging through my boxes, I found a pair of those. So basically it needs to go through there like that with a spacer, like so. Let's put, I don't know, one of these on. Oh dear, someone's broken into a car, like so, and then like that. What do you reckon? That's what I'm going for, right? That sort of look. Now I need something to go in here. So I've got my box, as you can see, of spacery things there. And would you believe it? These things, I think they're off of DeVille's. These things, although they're threaded the wrong way, even have a centre point. And if you just push that into there, it sits in there absolutely beautifully. Okay, I've got to plug those holes up. I'll probably put some sort of silicone in there once I've drilled through there with an M6 hole. And there we go. That'll be there, the other little space there. So that's the route I'm going with it. Obviously this will be nice and black. I'll paint that all nice and black. I'm going to clean it right up, drill the hole, prime it actually, then paint it black, and I will prime these as well. I've got different variant lengths of them, so I'll prefer one with a 6mm hole in the middle, but beggars can't be choosers. Oh, that's a nice 6mm one. We'll see. So that's where I'm going to go with these spotlights. Whether I get them done today or not, I don't know. I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I'm just going to mosey along. First of all, is get that marine fuse box in there so I can get my heated grips back on. Right, what a palaver. That was a bit of a scare last night. You know, when you get a fault light come on, well, what's that, F1? Oh, I'm in racing mode, you know, Christ. When you Google it, nah, it's not good. But when it comes with 00, it's no fault, guys. If you've got 00, you've unplugged something and you haven't plugged it back in. It's something to do with a lighting circuit, I do believe. Don't quote me on that. Okay. Right, I'm just going to put that chart up at the end with the engine fault codes. Well, with the fault codes, not engine fault codes specifically. And yeah, I'll catch you in a minute. Cool.